What's up, brand builder? Stephen Hurahan here at brandmasteracademy.com. And in this video, you're going to learn 7 content marketing tips to build your brand. So you can stop repelling clients with push marketing and start pulling clients in with the value that you give. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to build brands that go beyond visuals using strategy, psychology, and creative thinking, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to fast track your results, make sure you grab the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint. The link is in the description. Now, I remember when I first realized that I knew I had a marketing problem. I'd been freelancing for a couple of years and I had managed to survive on referrals. I had some contacts in the industry that were passing me referrals and that were giving me business. And all of a sudden, all of these referrals all dried up at once. I had nothing in my pipeline. And all of a sudden that work had disappeared. And I realized then at that point, I had no system in place or nothing to bring in any kind of leads. And that's where I started from scratch. And I started to dig into what marketing was all about, how I could market my business and my services. And that's when I came to the realization there were 2 main categories of marketing, and that was push marketing and pull marketing. So push marketing is all about paid ads. So it's all about paying for the privilege to put your message in front of somebody else's audience. So think Facebook ads or Google ads or the Google Display Network or any other kind of paid advertising where you have to pay for that privilege to put your message in front of somebody else's audience. Pull marketing, on the other hand, is all about giving value. It's all about organic reach and putting out value to achieve that reach. So it's not about paying somebody for your exposure. It's about earning that exposure through the value that you give. And you can do this by creating content, creating blog content, creating video content, even social media content, and using that content to gain organic reach. Now, at the time when I was trying to figure out what strategy would be best for me, I had more time than I did have money. So it was an easy choice. I wanted to go the organic route. I wanted to go the route of earning my exposure as opposed to paying for my exposure because I didn't have the budget to do that. So I devoured everything I could on pull marketing, on content marketing, SEO, blogging, video marketing. And I really started to study and started to throw myself into that type of marketing. And the way I threw myself in was I started to create content. Now, aside from the monetary aspect, the fact that I had to pay for the push marketing side of things, there was something else that appealed to me about the pull marketing side of things besides the fact that I didn't have to pay for it. It was the nature of pull marketing. The nature of pull marketing is all about giving value. It's all about going out there and helping people. Whereas the nature of push marketing, it's all about interrupting people. You're interrupting somebody's feed. You're interrupting their search. You're interrupting their daily lives to put your message in front of them when they haven't asked for that. Whereas pull marketing and content marketing, it's all about giving value. It's all about helping your audience with a certain type of problem. They might have many different problems and you just go out there and you help them with that problem. And one piece of content marketing, one very good piece of content marketing can bring in thousands of visitors per month. And that can go on for months on end or even years on end. So you just invest in a single piece of content and that can bring in leads year after year. So today, content marketing is still my #1 strategy, both for my agency side of things and my education side of things. And I highly recommend getting into content marketing if you haven't already. Now, another reason that I really like the content marketing approach is the profile that it helps you raise. It really does raise your expert profile and your authority in the marketplace because you're helping people with their problems. They're coming to you as a source to overcome their challenges. And once you've helped them with just one problem, they're going to remember that. And it's really going to elevate your image in their mind as an expert and an authority in the marketplace. So that's another added advantage of creating content. And I created a piece of content back in 2017. So that's nearly 3-4 years now at this stage. And that is still my #1 source of leads to this day. So it just goes to show that, you know, content marketing, if you get it right, if you take the time to develop your skills, it can act as a tool for you to bring in leads years after you've taken the time to invest in a single piece of content. So it's another reason that I really like the content marketing approach. So let's jump into the 7 content marketing tips that you can use to build your brand and start pulling your clients and your leads in. Number 1, define your niche. Now, this is the single biggest mistake that I see personal brands make, business brands make, businesses in general. They don't take the time to specify the niche that they want to serve. And I'll give you a little hint here. Small business is not a niche. Nobody identifies with small business. Me personally, if I see something with small business on it, I just do not give it the time of day because it's not talking directly to me. Only when you specify a niche, only when you're crystal clear about what industry you're serving, can you be really specific with your messaging and really specific with the content that you put out there to help them with a very, very specific problem. So think about illustration for the hospitality industry. This is picking a very certain and very specific service for a very specific niche. So really take the time to think about what service you want to offer to what particular niche. Number 2, know your audience. Now, this is all about the person within the niche that you're trying to reach. So who is that person? What's their life like? What kind of job do they have? What do they do in the morning when they get up for work? Do they go to work? Do they take public transport? How do they get home from work? What kind of challenges do they have during the day? What kind of challenges are you trying to help them with? And once they overcome that challenge, where is it that they're going to? What is their objective? What is their goal? And what are their fears from not overcoming that challenge and not reaching those goals? So this really is about understanding the person within that niche that you're trying to reach. Who is that person? What feelings are they going through? What challenges do they have? And once you understand all of that, then it becomes a lot easier to start creating content to help that individual person. Number 3, select your content type. Now, this is all about knowing yourself, knowing your skill sets, knowing what you're passionate about, what you're not, what you're good at, what you're not. Now, when I started out creating content, I started with video, but I didn't last very long because I believed I was terrible at it and I pushed back from it and I really didn't give it enough time. I didn't stick with it and I'll be honest, I bailed. I didn't think I was good at it and I thought it just wasn't for me. So I started writing content and I started to write on my own blog at first. Then I started to create guest posts and I got really good at writing and I really enjoyed writing actually. And I stuck with that for a while, but then I was drawn back towards video. I kind of felt that I didn't give it enough effort. I didn't give it enough time and attention and I really didn't stick with it long enough. So I went back to video and I committed to doing 30 videos and to seeing where that took me. And that led me to a place where I just kept going. So it's really about knowing your skills, knowing what you're passionate about, knowing what you could be good at and giving it a try. Now, you might feel that video is just not for you. You just can't get in front of the camera. And I understand that. I never felt that myself. I never felt that I couldn't get in front of the camera. I always believed that I could do it, or I could certainly try to do it. And I also believed that I could write as well. But you might feel that you just can't get in front of the camera, or you might feel that you just do not have those creative writing skills. But you need to select an avenue for your content creation and decide which avenue that you're going to go with, and then commit to that. Go all in on it, and just push through the pain barrier of believing that you're terrible at it, and give yourself some kind of challenge, maybe a 30-day challenge, maybe a 90-day challenge to create content, and you will get better. Number 4, do your keyword research. So once you understand that person, once you understand that audience and you understand the challenges that they have, then you can get an idea for what types of queries they're typing into Google and to YouTube. And when you understand those queries and you're able to really open up the world of keyword research and identify the keywords that they're using in those search terms, it really opens up another world in terms of all of the content that you can create. But it's important to remember here that the shorter tail the keyword, as in the shorter the amount of words in the search term that you're trying to rank for, the more difficult it is to rank. So if you have a niche that you're targeting, if you have a specific business that you're targeting, and you know the challenges that specific business has, it becomes a lot easier to rank for more specific keywords than it is for broader keywords that many industries are probably trying to rank for. So it's really important to do your keyword research here, but it's also very important to have that niche and to understand the person that you're trying to reach. Number 5, generate content ideas. Now, the keyword research that you do will give you a very good idea of the content that you should be creating. But one of the first places that you should start is by identifying all of the challenges that your audience has. So what questions would they ask if they had the opportunity to speak to an expert? And that can be the basis for your initial content. So you can get 30 questions, you can get up to 100 questions that your audience might ask about your specific industry, about what you're trying to help them with, or even other topics that they might have, other challenges that they might have in and around what they do or what they're trying to do or what they're trying to achieve. So if you know those challenges and you start to jot down the individual questions that they might ask, that can act as the basis for your initial content. And if you are doing a 30-day challenge or a 90-day challenge, that is the first place that you start. Find those questions that they're going to ask and get those down and make those the basis for your initial content. Number 6, get creating. Now, starting any new habit is hard, and especially if you're not good at it, then chances are when you start creating content for the first time, you're not going to be good at it. Even if you're writing articles or doing videos, it doesn't matter. You're not going to be great at it. You're going to be rusty. You're going to be, trying out new things, and you're going to be finding your feet for the first while. And if you think about how many gym memberships there are out there bought and paid for by people with great intentions that don't follow through, it illustrates the point that starting a new habit is hard. But the key here is in the processes. You really need to jot down the individual tasks that you need to go through to create a single piece of content. And once you have those processes down, every time you tick one of those boxes, it's like a mini accomplishment. And it's easier on the mind when you have a set of key tasks that you need to accomplish to create a piece of content, then it's a less of a burden on the mind. So really take the time to map out those individual tasks that you need to do. Make sure you have your processes down pat, and then stick with it. Commit to a 30-day challenge or a 90-day challenge, and I guarantee you your 30th or your 90th piece of content will be way better than your first. And number 7, be consistent. Now, this is where 90% of content creators fail, because over time it is more and more difficult to keep that consistency. So this is where the 30-day and the 90-day challenge really come in, because it forces you to be consistent. It forces you to prove to yourself that you can actually do this. And it's not the 30 or the 90-day challenge. It's not really to achieve the 30 days or to achieve the 90 days. It's to prove to yourself that you can do it, so you can keep that momentum going. And that momentum is absolutely key. If you're going to do one video per week, make sure you do one video per week. If you're going to write 3 articles per week, make sure you write 3 articles per week. And once you set that momentum in place, keep that momentum going. And that really is key. If you're going to go from a bad content creator to a good content creator, then it's all about that consistency. It's all about sticking with it long enough that you become good. And once you become good, then the content creation process becomes a lot easier. So I can't stress this enough. Be consistent, stick with it, find that grit, find that determination, and find your new habit of creating that content. Now, of course, this video is all about content marketing. It's all about that pull marketing. And it's not to say that push marketing and paid marketing have no place. In fact, a solid marketing strategy will include both push marketing and pull marketing. But if you want to build a modern brand today, you really need to be investing in content. And if you invest in content long-term, the content that you create today could be paying dividends in months or years to come. But I'd love to hand it back over to you. I'd love to hear your experience when it comes to content marketing. Do you believe in content marketing? Have you been creating content for many years? Have you been creating content for just a couple of weeks and you're feeling that twinge of, trying to get over that initial hump? And is that a challenge for you? Or do you have any other challenges around creating content, whether it's video or writing articles? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell as well. It'll let you know when I've got new videos coming out. If you want actionable brand strategy tips and techniques, head on over to BrandBuildr.ai. Get yourself signed up for the list. It's free. and I keep some exclusive content for that list as well, so get yourself involved. But as I said, I would love to hear from you about your challenges, about your experiences. I'll do my best to answer all of those. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.